Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Now at 8 o'clock, an early morning fire consumes a garage in Lexington before firefighters can even respond. We'll have the latest in just a bit. And after a fiasco at Chicago's Air Traffic Control Center stranded planes across the U.S., here in the Bluegrass, some flights are still canceled. And an early morning shooting in Lexington is the fourth this weekend. These stories and more, plus breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT this morning. Well, good morning. So glad you could join us here on WKYT this morning. I'm Sean Moody.
And I'm Mike Linden. Sean, good to have you back as well. What a great day it was yesterday. I mean, the weather was great. The Cats won. First SEC victory in a while. It was a great Saturday. And we move into Sunday with conditions that should be half and half. So we start out this morning with the clouds, as you can see here on our live sky camera. And there's Defender in the bottom left corner. And it is tracking the skies this morning, but things are relatively quiet. We're still not picking up any rainfall activity just yet, but that will change as we head into your afternoon hours. We're tracking some moisture working its way northward from the Gulf that should spit some energy northward into the Bluegrass, just producing a few scattered showers as we head into your afternoon today. Otherwise, back to the upper 70s for most of us. And as far as what I'll be talking about in 10 minutes in my full forecast, well, we'll be talking about those showers around, the clouds that should stick around into Monday, but there are some big changes on the way into the mid to late portion of the work week next week. I'll take you hour by hour and show you what I'm tracking coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Mike. The latest in a string of weekend shootings. Lexington police say a woman was grazed by a bullet this morning outside a Lexington Events Center after witnesses say two men fired off at least 15 shots. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with the details on this latest shooting.
Good morning, Sean. Police say two armed men fired 15 times, hitting 4 vehicles, including this SUV. Its windshield is scarred with bullet holes, and police say the gunman also shot out this window here. Now, we're told that a bullet grazed a woman's head in the parking lot of the Genesis Center here on Georgetown Road around 3 a.m. Officers say she was rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators tell us at this time they don't know if she was the intended target or if someone else was. We're told the gunman opened fire at the Genesis Center during a party with a younger crowd. Now, this makes the fourth shooting in Lexington since Friday night. Police say the string of shootings started Friday night when two men were shot, one on Bainbridge Court and the other on Charles Avenue. Then early Saturday morning, investigators say a third man was shot on Old Georgetown Street. Now, so far, no arrests have been made in any of the shootings. Now, police say the only suspect description that they are working off to find the people involved in this morning's shooting is that the two men that were involved were both wearing dark hoodies. Of course, we will continue to keep you updated and bring you the latest information here and on our website, WKYT.com. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
After a disruption at a Chicago Air Traffic Control Center Friday, some flights departing from and arriving here at Bluegrass Airport are still getting canceled. The disruption started when police say an employee set a fire at an air traffic control center. First responders found him in the control center's basement, they say attempting to take his own life. Police say the man, Brian Howard, survived and went to an area hospital for treatment. He's charged with one count of destruction of aircraft or aircraft facilities. A fire ripped through a Lexington garage so quickly this morning that fire crews showed up after the garage was destroyed. Fire officials tell us they're not sure what caused the fire, but they say they are investigating it as accidental. They got the call around midnight, and they say the way the building was made it impossible to extinguish the fire all at once. So they kept crews there for several hours to make sure no smaller fires popped up. A grand jury indicted a Knox County man after police say he shot and killed his father earlier this month. The Times-Tribune reports a grand jury indicted 37-year-old Travis Carnes for one count of murder. State police say he and his father, 61-year-old Harold Carnes, started arguing at a home on Highway 223 in Walker. That's when they say Travis Carnes shot his father. Police arrested him there at that home. Friends and family of the Georgetown graduate killed in South America honored her in her hometown. They held a memorial service in Marshall County for Erica Hagan on Saturday. The 22-year-old was a recent graduate of Georgetown College. Chilean authorities found Hagan dead in her apartment earlier this month. She was in Chile teaching English. Police there have arrested a security guard at the Chilean school. Georgetown College is still planning her memorial. Campus police at Indiana State University in Terre Haute say a student shot on campus was the only target of the attack. The shooting happened yesterday evening in the stairwell of a residence hall on campus. The police chief says the shooter ran off and there shouldn't be any threat to those remaining on campus. He says the suspect and the victim knew each other, and we're told the victim is expected to make a full recovery. Lexington police are investigating a string of shootings that sent 3 men to the hospital. Mark was just telling you about the most recent. One before that happened on Old Georgetown Street at 3 o'clock Saturday morning. Officers went out to Jazzy G's bar after someone fired 5 shots, hitting a man in the stomach. Around 10 o'clock Friday night, police say someone shot a man near a liquor store on Charles Avenue, and nearly 2 hours before that, police say someone shot a man in the neck on Bainbridge Court. A neighbor said he heard some of the gunfire.
It was a loud 4 or 5 boom, boom, boom shots. It's kind of scary knowing that my aunt lives 2 houses down. It happened right in front of her house.
Police say they don't know if the shootings are connected, but they are looking into that possibility. We're told all 3 men who were shot have non-life-threatening injuries. The Lexington Police Department, the Fayette County Sheriff's Office, and several other organizations teamed up for a drug take-back event. More than 200 people dropped off expired and unused medication on Saturday at Kentucky American Water. Now, this was one of many drug take-back events across the country for the DEA National Take-Back Initiative. The Cats had a crowd of close to 57,000 fans in the stands during yesterday's game. That number is one UK athletics leaders hope will just continue to grow as the season progresses. The last time the Cats played a home game to a sold-out crowd was 4 years ago. Yesterday, they were just a few thousand shy of filling up, and fans hope this boost in team spirit will continue throughout the season. Well, WKYT this morning is just getting started. A man who inadvertently raised thousands of dollars all to make potato salad through a festival in the Spud's honor, and all for a good cause. And a classic piece of kids' clothing just got a business-like makeover. We'll tell you about the Suitsy coming up.
And we're tracking the skies right now to see when and where that rain will be, because we do expect some showers in the forecast. I'll show you where they might pop up coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden and First Alert Defender.
So far, the weekend has been spectacular. Our Saturday was wonderful. Really not much going on in the world of weather. And so far, not much is going on into Sunday morning. So right now over Lexington, about a half an hour ago, we were looking at a spectacular sunrise, and folks from all around Kentucky have been sending me in tweets and Facebook messages. Thank you for those beautiful photos. But right now, that sun is up. It is behind the clouds. And as we look to our current conditions, 63 degrees, a comfortable start so far to our day. But we are looking at the chance for some showers as we work our way into our afternoon. Not so much going on right now. Defender not really picking up much of anything. But the clouds, they are certainly out there. If we throw the satellite layer over the radar here, you can see those clouds coming up from the southwest of us as moisture continues to track northward from the Gulf. Now, we're not going to see this mass of energy work its way northward, but just a few pieces of that energy heading northward that should give us some showers as we head into our afternoon. Not only today, but Monday looks to be a possibility as well for those showers. So here are your rain chances, the green and the yellow overlay. The green being just a chance for some showers, the yellow being the best chance, the most likely chance for you to see rainfall. The green more scattered in nature, but the rain seems that it is going to pile up closer to the mountains as we head into the afternoon. And most of us are going to really stay on the dry side. Only a few of those showers are relatively likely. Looks like it should be a mostly cloudy day for you, but let's take you hour by hour so you can see what's going on as we progress through our Sunday. So that warm air sliding to the north of us, and you can see that close to about noon today, we'll start to see those pop-up showers along the Kentucky-Tennessee border. We're looking at Laurel County, Clay County, even Pulaski County getting in on some of the fun there. Into the late afternoon hours, that's where Fayette County will start to see some of those showers popping up. And then, of course, close to the mountains where things are really going to continue overnight as we head into tomorrow morning. Those showers look to be relatively likely then. And then into Monday, we start all over again. That storm to our south will continue to track pieces of energy northward that should give us the chance for some showers. But your 24-hour planner, if you're going to be outside today, just bring an umbrella with you. just in case. It's not going to be a washout by any means, but the showers will certainly be there, and they certainly should be possible as we head into our Monday as well. Now, Tuesday in the middle of the work week next week looks to be wonderful. Partly sunny skies. We're looking at relatively comfortable conditions, so if you're looking to spend some more time outside, looks like you'll have to wait until about Tuesday, Wednesday to really get the best days for us. But then, Sean, as we head closer to the weekend next week, a strong cold front swings in on Friday, which should drop daytime highs and bring us some stormy weather. We're looking at probably the most likely rainmaker here that we haven't seen in about 2 weeks, arriving next Saturday.
Oh, we'll enjoy the middle of the week anyway.
That's right. Always optimism. That's right. So hundreds of people were able to enjoy music, beer, and potato salad in downtown Columbus yesterday.
And it was all thanks to Zach Danger Brown, also known as the Potato Salad Guy. A couple of months ago, Brown posted a Kickstarter campaign hoping to raise a few bucks to make some potato salad. Instead, he raised $55,000.
So good potato salad.
Yeah, it must be for that price. So he used all that money to throw a party for a good cause. The event raised money for nonprofits that work to end hunger and homelessness in Central Ohio. And $55,000, you can make a whole lot of potato salad. They made about 300 pounds for the event. That might be my favorite crowdfunding project of all time.
You know, that's pretty great. Now to see what the next step will be for him, because he's got to outdo himself.
Peanut butter and jelly?
Maybe. Macaroni salad?
Yeah, you never know.
Peanut butter and jelly. Sean, there's Zach. Get on it, man.
And WKYT This Morning returns. If you loved wearing footy pajamas as a kid, you might just like a new business version of the classic kids wear. We'll show you the Suitsy coming up.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning. Here's an update on our top stories. After a string of shootings yesterday in Lexington, another shooting ups that number to 4 this weekend. Lexington police tell us a bullet grazed a woman's head as she stood in the parking lot of the Genesis Center on Georgetown Road. Police say they're still looking into all 4 shootings and trying to find suspects. An early morning fire destroyed a garage in Lexington early this morning. Fire officials say the fire tore through the building so quickly it was gone by the time they got there. They say the garage's structure made it difficult to fight the fire, and crews say they couldn't put it all out at once. They were on the scene for hours to make sure new, smaller fires didn't pop up. In Missouri, a Ferguson police officer was shot in the arm while trying to stop a burglary, while an off-duty St. Louis County police officer was driving down the interstate when someone fired off shots at him. This comes during protests geared toward police in connection with last month's shooting death of unarmed teenager Michael Brown. Well, remember wearing footy pajamas as a kid?
Vaguely. Well, a San Francisco Bay Area entrepreneur is taking the idea of the onesie to a whole new level. Here's a look at the onesie's business equivalent.
With a little magic up the sleeves.
This is a false shirt underneath.
Stealthy stitching.
The jacket is attached to this shirt.
And a hidden zipper. Men can look like a pro in less than 30 seconds.
San Francisco, I think, appreciates convenience and comfort, but also a little bit of class too, and this is a combination of all those things.
This is Jesse Herzog's creation, a suit onesie or suitsy.
I thought, wouldn't it be great to have a way to look professional, but also feel like I'm in my pajamas?
Yeah, it fools people.
He came up with it 6 months ago.
This seamstress was like, you must be out of your mind.
Jesse got Suitsy started with Beta Brand here in San Francisco, which is essentially a Kickstarter for fashion. Most of Beta Brand's products start on the website's think tank. Prospective designers or entrepreneurs submit ideas, get votes, and the most popular end up on the production line. Suitsy was posted on the site just last Wednesday, and it's already gaining national attention. There has been some pushback, guys wondering, how do you use the bathroom in that thing?
Everyone's figured it out, so it's solvable.
But Jesse learned the bigger drawback after he debuted the Suitsy at his wedding rehearsal dinner.
My buddy said, hey, Jesse, why don't you give your wife your jacket? Oh, wait, you can't. It's attached.
What's the phrase, shut up and take my money? I think that applies here. I'll take 5 of them.
You know who the Suitsy would work for perfectly? Well, that would be Clark Kent, Superman, right? Just true. Take it off and ready to go.
True.
We need a few of those. Send them here.
Let's do it. All right. It's 8:20. There's still more to come this morning.
Sports is up next.
The Wildcats come up victorious in an SEC game for the first time in 17 tries. We'll have the highlights from Kentucky's win and several others from around the state. That's next in sports.
All is quiet across the Commonwealth this morning. First alert defender not picking up much of anything. Tracking the skies, though, but not seeing much of anything. In fact, the bulk of the energy that we anticipate to bring us some showers is to our south, coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. It's not this bulk here that's going to work its way northward, just a few pieces of that energy heading northward. In fact, most of us should stay relatively dry here on Sunday, but the best chance for the showers will be right around the south and southeast of Kentucky. We're talking Laurel County, Clay County. Mount Sterling could get in on some of those as well, and pushing eastward toward Perry County and Pikeville as well. The green layer here, just a more showery, scattered chance. Again, most of us will be relatively dry today and mostly cloudy, so that's what we'll really see today. Not much sunshine. It will be there, just a few peaks through the clouds, but you will certainly see those clouds hanging around throughout your Sunday afternoon. So just a few showers out there, with temperatures expected to sit right around the upper 70s and lower 80s. And it was quite a beautiful Saturday, especially if you're a Cats fan. And for more on the Wildcats win, we'll send it over to Lee Kay.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It had been a long time coming since the Wildcats' last won an SEC game. You have to go all the way back to November of 2011 for the last one. Only a handful of players were even around back then. Mark Stoops certainly was not. Cats trying to snap that 17-game skid on Saturday, hosting Vandy. Patrick Tolles on the play-action fake goes over the top to Ryan Timmons, and he finds his way across the goal line. The Cats complete the 99-yard opening drive to go up 7-0. Kentucky with back-to-back sacks, forcing Vandy to punt in the second. But on UK's next play from scrimmage, Tolles is picked off by Darius Sims, returned for a Vandy touchdown, 7-7. Then just before the half, Tolles gives the Wildcats the 10-point advantage on that quarterback sneak, 17-7 Kentucky at the break. The Wildcats offense would struggle in the second half, but the defense was there to pick them up, forcing 3 interceptions and holding Vandy to just 139 yards of total offense in the game. Most importantly, though, they put an end to that streak. Wildcats get the win, 17-7 over the Commodores. Georgetown football put 63 points on the board in both of their first 2 games of the season, while allowing its opponents a combined 21 points. Tigers looking to make it 3 straight, hosting Kentucky Christian on Saturday. Tigers on top 21-0 in the second. Neal with the pitch to Clay Kesterson, and he's in for 6 more. 28-0 Georgetown. Kentucky Christian with a chance to get on the board, attempting a 35-yard field goal, but that's blocked by Devin Daniel. KCU remains scoreless. Under 1 minute to play in the half. Tigers looking to add to the lead. Posset rolls to his right, finds Ben Patton on, and what a great catch here in the back of the end zone. Not quite 63 points on Saturday, but it'll do. Georgetown wins 48-14. And now to Danville. Center playing host to Washington out of Missouri. Colonel's up and adding to it in the second. Nolan Coulter takes it in from 11 yards out. Yeah, shows the camera a little love there. Center goes up 20-0. And the center defense getting it done as well. Sam Van Doren's pass picked off by Taylor Peoples. 22 yards for the Peoples before he steps out of bounds. And the Colonels would capitalize. Heath Hayden finds Blake Martin. He's in for 6 as center stays unbeaten with another impressive win, 50-20. Got a big day of NFL football coming up a little bit later. The Bengals actually have the bye week, but we'll have your highlights from all the games coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. For now, that'll do it for your morning sports. Have a great day.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Now at 8:30, an early morning shooting sent a woman to the hospital, and it's the 4th shooting this weekend here in Lexington. We'll have the details coming up. A police officer is shot in Ferguson, and a St. Louis County police officer is shot at while driving down the interstate. We'll have the latest on these cases coming up. And an early morning fire consumes a garage here in Lexington. These stories and more, plus breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT this morning. Well, good Sunday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Moody.
And I'm Mike Linden. Sean, a beautiful start so far to our day. So if you're planning on getting outside this morning, maybe take the dog for a walk, get out there for a run or just to get your Sunday started early, it's quite comfortable for you outside this morning, with most spots sitting in the low 60s and mid to high 50s. And of course, with the sun up this morning, we can expect temperatures to continue to rise here over the next several hours. So let's check out Defender and see what's going on. Not very much. All is quiet across the Commonwealth right now, and for the most part, we should stay dry today, but there will be a chance for some showers as moisture works its way northward from the Gulf of Mexico, spitting energy into the bluegrass state, which could produce a few showers as we head into our afternoon today. So right around 79 degrees for our daytime high, but in a few minutes, this is what I'll be talking about for my full forecast. We'll look at the showers and, of course, the clouds that should hang around as well, but some big changes in the form of a very strong cold front working its way into the bluegrass by the middle of the work week this week. I'll have your full forecast, and I'll track what's going on hour by hour coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Mike. After a string of weekend shootings, Lexington police say a woman was grazed by a bullet this morning outside a Lexington Event Center. After witnesses say 2 men fired off at least 15 shots. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with the details on this latest shooting.
Good morning, Sean. Police say 2 armed men shot out this window of an SUV and then sprayed 3 other vehicles with bullets when they opened fire at a party. Now, investigators tell us the gunman started shooting at the Genesis Center while a younger crowd was partying around 3 a.m. We're told the 2 men fired 15 times, one of the bullets grazing a woman's head in the parking lot. Officers say she was rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators tell us at this time they don't know if the woman who was hit was the intended target. Now, this is the 4th shooting since Friday night in Lexington. Police say the first 3 shootings happened between 8 o'clock Friday night and 3 o'clock Saturday morning. Investigators tell us in those cases, 3 men were shot in separate shootings on Bainbridge Court, Charles Avenue, and Old Georgetown Street. So far, no arrests have been made. Now, police say the only description that they have of the men involved in this morning's shooting is that both of them were wearing dark hoodies. Of course, we will bring you the latest as we learn it here and on our website, WKYT.com. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
It's a Lexington nightclub clouded with controversy. Just one day after city leaders revoked its conditional use permit, the art bar opened its doors anyway last night. Now, the owner of the art bar tells us he's operating within the law. Those living in the area say they're continuing the fight to shut the bar down. Police testified art bar violated its conditional use permit by staying open later than it's supposed to, citing the number of times they've been called there to make arrests. Just a few of the reasons why residents nearby want the bar gone.
I have no problem with people enjoying themselves and young people having a good time, but it's just something where once you start spilling into the neighborhood, and especially at 2 o'clock in the morning for people who work, I just don't think it fits with the neighborhood.
The bar's owner has 30 days to appeal the board's decision in court. A fire ripped through a Lexington garage so quickly this morning that fire crews showed up after the garage was destroyed. Fire officials say they got the call about the fire around midnight. They tell us they're not sure what caused it, but they are investigating it as accidental. They said the way the building was made it impossible to extinguish the fire all at once, so they kept crews there for several hours to make sure no smaller fires popped up. After a disruption at a Chicago air traffic control center on Friday, some flights departing from and arriving at Bluegrass Airport are still being canceled. The disruption started when police say an employee set a fire at an air traffic control center. First responders say they found him in the control center's basement attempting to take his own life. Police say the man, Brian Howard, survived and went to an area hospital for treatment. He's charged with 1 count of destruction of aircraft or aircraft facilities. New this morning, authorities say a Ferguson, Missouri police officer was shot in the arm when he interrupted a burglary. Ferguson has been unsettled since police shot and killed unarmed teen Michael Brown last month. The officer's shooting comes shortly after the Ferguson police chief released a videotaped apology earlier this week and tried to march with protesters. The police chief spoke early this morning, however, and said that shooting was not protest related. And another officer was shot at in St. Louis County, not far from Ferguson. The shooting happened early this morning on an interstate. Officials say the officer was driving his personal car when someone shot at it from a passing vehicle with handguns. While his car was hit several times, the officer wasn't hit by gunfire. He had minor injuries from breaking glass. Police are unsure if the shooting was random or if the officer was targeted. A Japanese police official says rescuers have found more than 30 people believed to be dead at the peak of an erupting volcano. Now, they can't officially declare the people dead until a doctor inspects the bodies. Mount Ontake in central Japan erupted just before noon yesterday. About 250 people were initially trapped on the slopes. Most of them has escaped by Saturday night. Turns out having one of the wettest summers on record is going to affect our fall. Outdoor experts say leaves will change color sooner. The color usually peaks in mid-October, but because of the wetter than normal summer season, that process has started early. Experts say we can expect some beautiful fall foliage.
This will be a very good year, and people should get out and enjoy it, because I suspect this will be one of those years when we have really good color.
Now, the Kentucky Department of Travel and Tourism has launched a website to track fall foliage. To find a link to the most colorful spots in Kentucky, just go to WKYT.com. WKYT this morning is just getting started. With fall comes fall festivals. Coming up, we're out and about with Deanne Stevens, who will give us a look at the festival going on this weekend.
And I'm tracking showers throughout the region that we expect to find today as well as into Monday. But some big changes are on the way this week. I'll take you hour by hour so we can see what we expect today and for the next several days coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden and First Alert Defender.
It was a beautiful Saturday to kick off our weekend, and so far things are looking quite nice as we head into Sunday morning, but it should be a half and half day for you today. We are looking at some showers as we are tracking storms to our south, but right now, First Alert Defender not picking up much of anything across the Commonwealth as we get going, but if we throw the clouds on top of the radar, you can see that there certainly are some clouds out there, and we do expect to see some moisture coming off of those clouds as we head into your afternoon because of where that moisture is coming from, that being the Gulf of Mexico. Now, don't bank on this bulk of energy to work its way northward, but we are certainly tracking pieces of that energy heading into the bluegrass as it begins to work its way north here over the next 48 hours. So tracking the rain chances for you, this green layer here, these are the scattered showers. For the most part, a mostly cloudy day today and just a few sprinkles for you into the middle of the day. But this yellow overlay, this is the best chance for the rainfall. We're talking Laurel County, Pulaski County, and spots in eastern Kentucky like Perry County as well as Pike County, Clay County too. So most of us should stay on the dry side today. Just a few showers likely. The clouds will certainly be out there in bulk, but as far as what's coming off of those clouds, looks like most of that should hold off until tomorrow. But we'll take you hour by hour. Check this out. We'll rewind to midnight and we'll fast forward into your afternoon today. Notice that the clouds will certainly be out there today. You will get to see some sunshine, but by about 1, 2 o'clock, that's where we'll start to see those showers popping up across southern Kentucky, close to Pulaski County there, and pushing eastward toward the mountains as we get into your evening hours. It shouldn't be a washout today, nor should there be really any heavy rain for you. This is mainly looking like a shower event as we head into your Monday morning. That's where things start to become just a bit heavier for those spots closest to the mountains, as well as for spots pushing even further eastward into Virginia. So let's take you zone by zone. So what you can expect for today, just a stray chance for some showers out there. Again, nothing as far as a washout goes. So if you have any plans to be outside today, just bring an umbrella just in case. But we're looking at temperatures right around the upper 70s and lower 80s, so it should still be warmer than normal for you out there today. How about Russell Springs coming in at about 79, as well as Somerset there. And for our southeastern zone, we're looking at temperatures running a little bit cooler thanks to the thicker clouds hanging around there. In the mid to high 70s, Hazard, West Liberty at about 77. And to the north, the clouds mainly staying dry in the low 80s and upper 70s. And if we look to our 7-day forecast, Monday, potentially some showers hanging around as well. But into the middle of your work week, that's where things really improve. We're looking at the best days ahead of us here between about Tuesday and Wednesday. Things getting a little breezy for you, though, on Thursday as we get ready for a cold front, a rather strong cold front to enter the region. And with that, Sean, we're looking at potentially some storms popping up Friday and Saturday, as well as temperatures sliding back by almost 10 full degrees. So we We really haven't seen a major rain event here over the past several weeks, but it looks like that storm getting here toward the end of the week could be the most rain we've seen in about 2 weeks.
I guess we're due for some.
We certainly
Seasons
are.
change, and that'll bring it, I guess.
That's right.
Well, speaking of fall, the fall season just kicked off here in the Bluegrass, and of course that means plenty of festivals and autumn fun.
Deanne Stevens is out and about today at Bywater Farm in Georgetown for their annual Fall Fun. What's going on out there, Deanne?
Hey, good morning, guys, from Bywater Farm here in Georgetown. It is the first weekend of fall, and of course, you got to head out to the farm, get all of your, what are these, heirloom gourds?
Those are heirloom gourds and squashes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, all kinds of beautiful things here at Bywater. You guys not only offer, people can come get their pumpkins, their mums for the fall, but you have vegetables, a little bit of everything for folks.
We have all kinds of things here for the farm, for the people to take home from the farm. We have a lot of fun stuff, but we like our fresh fruits and vegetables, the apples and apple cider and gourds and mums and tomatoes and all that stuff.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
All right, now let's get to the fun stuff because your Autumn Fest kicked off, runs through November 1st. And let me tell you something, my kids have already said, Mommy, when are we going to Bywater Farm? It is great fun for the whole family.
Yes, it is. We see a lot of families, a lot of groups, a lot of companies, a lot of different things here on the farm. And so we have all kinds of fun stuff from hay rides and corn mazes, but then sky high slides and Bunnyville and Spooky Farmhouse and oh gee whiz, this year we've added even zip lines and all that type of good stuff.
Zip lines?
Absolutely.
All for the kids, right?
All for the kids.
And the animals. I know the little petting zoo the kids love to see with bunnies and baby chicks and stuff like that. That's a great opportunity for those kids who are in the city day in and day out to be on a farm.
It is. They don't, kids today don't get to come out to the farm like I grew up on one. So it's a great experience for them to learn and see and understand.
Okay, you guys are running your Autumn Fest through November 1st.
Right, we go 7 days a week right now through November 1st, and Fridays and Saturdays we're open till 9 o'clock, Sundays till 7.
And you also offer it for groups too. Bring a whole group out.
Absolutely, we host a lot of church groups in here, and it's everything, companies and all. We really do. School groups, so we experience a lot of people.
Happy first weekend of fall from Bywater Farm. Come check out Autumn Fest for yourself, running through November 1st. I'm Deanne Stevens. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, it looks like today might be a good day for getting out there.
Bring an umbrella with you just in case, but it looks like it should be quite nice for you.
8:45.
More news when we return.
Good morning. I'm Bill Bryant. The fierce fight for control of the Kentucky House. Hear from the Speaker who wants to keep his job and a Republican fighting to give the gavel to someone else. Coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning. I hope you're enjoying this first weekend of fall in the Commonwealth. A little later this morning over on the CW Lexington, we'll repeat this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers as we talk about the exciting and bitter battle for control of the State House of Representatives. Democratic Speaker Greg Stumbo's party has controlled the House more than 90 years. And Republican Whip Bam Carnes says his party would make big changes. Here's some of what they said on Kentucky Newsmakers. Mr. Speaker, the Republicans do make the case that in the states where there is a right-to-work law, that by and large the economy is doing better there.
It's not true. It's not true. Our economy, Alabama is a right-to-work state. Now, that's what they've hinged this whole election on, wanting us to be like Alabama. And I don't know anything that ever came out of Alabama good except those 2 interstates going north. Alabama's gross domestic product, the total of all the goods and services delivered by the state in the last 5 years has grown at half the rate of ours. Half the rate of ours. So you can't tell me, I mean, liars, statistics don't lie, Bill. Liars will lie, but statistics don't lie, and that's really what the case is. In Alabama, they spend less per pupil for public education. The CNBC News did a poll. We ranked 44 places above Alabama in our business environment and the ability to create new jobs. 44 places above Alabama. So why would you want to be like Alabama? Maybe in football occasionally, but why would you want your state to have a policy like Alabama?
Well, then there's some Tennessee envy that they seem to be getting jobs and able at this point to run state government with sufficient funding. And many people in this state say, well, it in part is right to work, in part it's that the legislature got around to getting a tax code passed that's more moderate.
That's not so. States ebb and flow. with some of their different approaches. Tennessee doesn't have a state income tax, but it has a very high sales tax.
Let me ask you this, and it's a conundrum that I mentioned to you, and I asked the same to him, is pointed out to the speaker. Polls indicate that voters accept the signature position of each party, in that they seem to approve a hike in the minimum wage, and they approve of a right-to-work law for the state. Now, what about voters who are out there who might say, well, why don't they just work together on some issues like that, and instead of constantly retreating to partisan positions?
And that's a great question by the voters, and our message is one that we hope and we feel like will reach out to conservative Democrats and independents and Republicans. Make no mistake, this is not your grandfather's Democratic Party. And my grandfather, one of my grandfathers was a Democrat. This is not his party, or at least the leadership is not his party, and they control the agenda. And on these issues that you just discussed, the poll that you all were part of, I think, basically showed the numbers very much the same. Well, if you look behind that poll, though, the trend for right-to-work legislation statewide is increasing. The trend, as people begin to understand more about minimum wage the issue, those numbers tend to be decreasing somewhat. You know, it is totally an unfair characteristic to try to say Republicans are not for a fair wage. You know, I really resent that. You know, I come from a family of a hardworking farm family. My parents are both factory workers. We want a living wage for folks, and we believe the best way to do that is to drive competition up for jobs, create jobs, spread the base, and that's part of this Handshake with Kentucky platform.
The full interviews with Stumbo and Carney will run on Kentucky Newsmakers. Again, that's coming up at 10 on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. And we hope you're up with us bright and early tomorrow on WKYT This Morning. I'm Bill Bryant, and we'll be right back.
Starting this weekend, people can see an art exhibit at one of the world's most notorious former prisons, Alcatraz.
As John Ramos shows us, the exhibit includes some areas people have never been allowed inside until now. Take a look.
Alcatraz Island has always been a place of contradiction, submission, and rebellion. And now a Chinese artist is turning America's most notorious prison into a monument to personal freedom.
What better location? It's a site of detainment, it's a site of protest, both things he personally experienced.
Ai Weiwei designed the birdcage stadium for the Beijing Olympics, but he is currently under house arrest for speaking out against the Chinese government. So now his vision has come to America.
It's an amazing combination of a national landmark site with a landmark artist.
Weiwei's art is being displayed at Alcatraz in places the public has rarely ever seen. A giant dragon kite with messages of defiance soars within the walls of a prison labor building. A huge metallic bird's wing can only be viewed through the broken windows of a guard's gun position. And the faces of dissidents are displayed using Legos laid out in a cavernous room.
It is in many ways authentic to the place and the history that was here. Issues of incarceration and freedom of expression and political detainment.
The voice of a jailed Iranian poet echoes from a cell that used to silence Confederate sympathizers during the Civil War. And in the prison's hospital ward, the bathroom fixtures have been filled with porcelain flowers. These are symbols of a struggle to be free in a place that was anything but.
And I think that if one person comes to this exhibition and leaves with a new idea of what freedom can really be, it will have been a great success.
At Alcatraz, John Ramos.
Oh, cool stuff there to see all the things up close.
Most definitely.
All right, well, as we told you earlier in the show, another shooting in Lexington this morning left a woman injured and several vehicles riddled with bullet holes. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with a recap of what happened and a closer look at the damage.
Good morning, Sean. Police say 2 gunmen fired 15 times, hitting this SUV and 3 other vehicles. Now, I'll step behind the camera now to give you a closer look at the bullet holes that are still scarring these vehicles out here. Now, this SUV, its windshield is riddled with bullet holes and its side window completely destroyed. Now, I'll zoom out to give you a wider shot of some of the other vehicles that are also out here. Police say that when that shooting happened about 3 o'clock this morning here at the Genesis Center, that a young woman's head was grazed by a bullet. They say this morning they are still searching for the shooters, but their only description of them is that both men were wearing dark hoodies. Now, I'm also told that that young woman who was hit is not in life-threatening condition. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated here on WKYT News and on our website. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
And of course, as we told you earlier, that is the fourth incident this weekend they've had to deal with, so police will be investigating. Weather for the rest of the week?
Well, weather for the rest of your week looks to be just a chance for some showers today and tomorrow. Things improving Tuesday, Wednesday.
Thanks for joining us. Have a good day.